This episode is delivered and presented by runners for runners and is for your easy pace runs. Welcome to Runversation, a conversational pace running podcast and a movement for everyday runners. Hi, I'm Rochelle and this is my co-host Kate. And hello to you, the runners tuning in. Hello Kate.
Hi Rochelle, how are you?
Good, and welcome to Runversation, a conversational podcast for your easy-paced running journey.
So Rochelle, what did you see on your run in the last week since we chatted last? I'm sure it wasn't as cool as the Harbour Bridge, but
No.
What did you see?
Well, I had a very mild running week. I did one run on the treadmill at the gym on Friday, and then I ran the Women's Classic yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at the Marathon Club room. So it's a really great event. I take my ladies that I coach every year to that one because all of the funds go towards breast cancer. And they put on a really good morning. So I've probably got more of a recap than what did I actually see.
Well, fill me in.
So you get there in the morning, and sometimes they've got the club rooms open because it's going to be rainy, so they have all the chairs set up inside, or sometimes they have a marquee outside. So this year it was indoors because the weather was a little bit atrocious, but we did see sunlight for the run, so that was nice. Inside they have tables set up with morning tea, so like muffins, croissants, fruit, yogurt, coffee, champagne, like
What?
yeah, this is for after the run. So you get there and it's like all
Only
set
not
up.
before.
And then there's like the stage, and they do not Zumba, but like jungle body. Have you heard of jungle body?
I've heard of Jungle Body.
Yeah. So my group, we obviously went out for our like warm up jog and then our like drills and strides. But when we came back and we returned, they were like full in jungle body mode. Like there was ladies like jamming it, like they were twerking,
Love it.
arms in the air.
Was that lady, was it you, Rochelle?
No,
Okay.
definitely. My skill level is minimal. I may think that I can do all of that, but really, let's be honest, I can't. Not a dancer.
In your mind, you're like, damn, I look good. And then
When
on
I'm at home
video-
by myself, you know. Maybe
Love it.
not.
Love it.
And then they call everybody out for the run. And the gun goes, we did 10Ks or 5Ks. So we head out towards the Maylands golf course.
Yep.
And then we turn around, we come back, and the hard part of the race is instead of going over the Windham Bridge to like we do it in the beginning, we go under and then over that Madagadup Bridge towards Optus. So that peak is just atrocious.
Yeah.
Last year we went the wrong way. Like the person turned us around too early, so the course was short. This year the course was longer. So I think they were trying to make up for last year. They're like, well, you need to get this much extra. So no, it was really good. And I paced one of my clients, Sarah. She got a 3-minute PB, so she was
Oh, wow.
absolutely stoked. And she
Congrats, Sarah.
had a terrible week being sick, but her fitness was there because she's been building for quite a while. And the other ladies that I coached, they all had a fabulous time. So
Oh, that sounds
yeah.
amazing.
And then sneaky little thing, like they do the draw prize.
Did you win?
No,
this time?
no.
Oh, devastating.
I left early because it was Father's Day,
Yes.
but I gave my friend Annalise my bib number and Sarah gave her hers, and then I get a text message, 3 numbers, and I still didn't win.
Oh, and she still didn't.
Maybe the gods
Devastating.
were like, Rochelle, you can't be selfish 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, you have won enough already.
Yeah. So that is, like a little recap of what I saw and did on the weekend.
Well, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
We should do it next year.
We should definitely do it next year. Absolutely. Do you know?
Prize. Sorry. The prize, like your medal
Yes.
is a lanyard with like this soft little pouch, and it comes with a champagne glass that you like hold in it. I'll post a photo during the week so people can see this. And they give you champagne when you finish. So that's your like finisher's medal instead of like the standard I ran in a race type thing.
I am definitely doing that next year. That's my kind of race.
I thought I had 6, but I've only got 5, so I've got to get a collection. Next year would be number 6.
Do you know one race I really want to do with you is this race I've wanted to do it every year and I'm always away or something's happened. And I'm going to be there for it this year. It's the handicap half marathon through the Bustleton Tri Club and Runners Club. And so you put in your 21K time, like your PB time, and then they stagger start you.
Yeah.
So everyone should theoretically finish at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So like you would start like 30 minutes after me. No, I'm kidding. Like, hopefully you're not that much faster
I'm
than
not
me.
that fit anymore.
But like, so you would put in your time, I'd put in mine. So then they would calculate obviously the difference, and then I get that head start. But then theoretically we should all finish at the same time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's point to point from Bustleton to Dunsborough.
That is cool. If it's a relay,
not a relay. So you all got to run 21.
Handicap.
Yeah, just a handicap.
All right, yeah.
So I'm going to convince you to come down that weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe we could take some footage.
Yeah.
That would be real fun.
Absolutely. No, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Because it would be a beautiful place to run as well.
Yeah.
Especially.
Like, straight down.
Definitely.
So that would be cool.
Count me in.
Yes.
So what did you see this week on your run?
Super anticlimactic on my end. Not a lot, Rochelle. And yesterday I don't mind running in the rain at all, but we're moving house this week, and Nick was like, you're not going out in the rain and putting yourself at risk. I know you don't get sick from being in the rain, but he's like, just don't. And I strapped up, ready to go, I had my jacket on and everything, and then it just poured down. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had brand new white shoes. So I was all right, I'm going to go on the treadmill. So I saw a brick wall, and that was it. Well, actually, I lie. I did have my phone, and I was getting real bored because it was just an easy run. So I put Dubai Bling on Netflix because I love that show. But I found it really hard because I had my phone sitting sideways just on the little thing propped up, and then I'm obviously running, and I do get motion sickness as well, and I don't have good eyes, and so it was actually just like not good, and it was real boring. And I'm a treadmill fan because obviously, like you, being mum and busy and everything, you gotta run on the treadie at times. But yesterday I just found it really boring.
You need what I have for at the gym.
Tell me.
So at the gym they have like TVs, and yes, you can watch like the news or whatever's on. But I don't have the headphones to like plug in. So I've got my little Apple ones, and then I've got one of those like suction sticky things on the back of my phone, and I stick that to the screen. Yes. And so like obviously you don't have to look too far down because you can have it like eye level. You need to do that. I
need that because I was looking down and it hurt, and then I put it up on a PowerPoint which we have against the wall and propped it up, but then it was too far away.
You're like,
my eyesight is horrendous. Yes, and I was like, what? And then some of it had captions because it wasn't all in English.
No.
So I was like, I cannot read that.
Yes.
It wasn't good.
I will bring you one. I have about 20 of them at home.
Love it.
Had a thought that I was going to sell them at one point, so I like ordered heaps, and now I just like give them to people.
If you're a runner, like me listening, just hit up Rochelle for one of her 20 suction things. Everybody.
Yeah, I have different colours. I'll post a story on them too. So if anybody wants one, you just pay for the postage.
Can I have yellow? Do you have a yellow one?
I think I have pink, orange,
great,
red, black.
Don't
I have a
like
whole.
Red. All right, I'll take either the yellow, orange, or pink.
Okay,
sweet.
I'll bring them to Bustleton when I see you.
But thank you.
That's okay. But that kind of brings us into our topic of today.
Yes.
So today we wanted to talk about treadmill running versus outdoor running.
Yes.
Because as a coach, I get so many questions about the paces, the calibration, the distance. So I just wanted to kind of like nut it out, and even like a little bit of like injury prevention or how it reacts with your body, because it does. It changes things.
Well, I was kind of due for one of my Miles of Insight segments, so maybe I could kind of hijack this and put little nerdy bits in throughout, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Love
and
it.
I even
look at you with your book, you good girl. I've got notes on my phone, but I am usually handwritten notes, girl. But
I did my homework.
I've got mine. Look at you. All right.
I felt like this was a topic where I needed to have notes.
Well, let's put a little disclaimer first, because Rochelle and I are massive treadmill fans, and like we said, if you are a parent or if you're just busy or if it's not safe in your neighborhood, safety is a huge thing for me.
Or FIFO workers.
Or if you, and you can literally only run in the treadmill. If you live, like I did so much treadmill work in the lead up to my marathon, because I was in Seychelles, and like my tummy was getting so upset with the heat and the nutrition that I had to practice taking on more. So I had to do it on a treadmill because I just needed a bit of cool, like a bit of a break. So Rochelle and I are huge treadmill fans. So this is absolutely not a diss on treadies. I couldn't live without my treadie, actually. I absolutely love it. So
mine is broken.
No.
So luckily I've got a gym membership, so I go to the gym. Yeah. But like normally I run on my one at home when Matt's there and, you know, but we've used it way too much.
You've run the belt out. Your treadmill has an injury.
Literally, it has a fracture.
Oh, devastating.
Did you know, fun fact, so when you're running on a treadmill, it's not necessarily just like a belt and plastic underneath that you're running on. It's actually a plank of wood. And so over time, what's happened to mine is we've run on it continuously so much that plank of wood has actually, fractured and split.
Really?
So, like, it's gone like that.
That's super interesting too, because you're so light.
Yeah. I'm a light runner, but Matt's not a light runner.
You said he's a heavy runner.
But we also land on different parts of the treadmill and the belt. So,
stressing it out.
Which kind of, like, leads into the surface / impact. Like, the treadmill has a nice cushioned belt versus running outside, which is harder. So, yeah.
Yeah, on that one, so, like I said, I'll probably put a bit of my nerdy input in.
Yeah.
I do find that a lot of people, when we're talking about the softer surface is really good for some injuries, but some you just need to consider it as well. So, for example, stress fractures, having the softer surface is, that is chef's kiss. It's like perfect because it's slightly less impact loads going through the body. So, for anyone who is coming back from a stressy, using a treadmill is great. In fact, even using a treadmill with like the body weight support systems, even better. If you can get your hands on one, like a lever or something, is really good. But if you don't have that, still great because you got to run anyway. And going on a treadmill is a really good option, especially if you have a tibial stress fracture.
Interesting.
Yeah, so one area in particular that gets loaded slightly less is the tibia, and that's such a common place for a stressy. Or even shin splints, it can be really good to still use a treadie for it. But the other side of it, though, is there is, interestingly, and this is only one study, so let me also put a little disclaimer on my nerd out, my Mars of Insight sections. I get way too excited when I talk nerdy. It sounds like talk dirty. It's like talk nerdy to me.
Jesus.
We should make that a jingle. Anyway, I'm copywriting that. Okay, so with the research stuff that I present, remember that it's only some studies in some athletes. So some of it, for example, is only in men. Some is very rarely only in women. Unfortunately, we're still understudied. But this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. So I just want to give that little asterisk there for listeners. Because there was one study that looked at loads going through the patellofemoral joint, so the knee, which is the most common place for an injury in runners. Yes. And then in the same study, they looked at loads going through the knee in overground, so running on the road versus treadmill, and the Achilles tendon. Okay, so these were the two places to see if there was any change in loads through those two areas. The knee was no difference.
I had that in my notes.
Ah, well, excellent. There you go. Sorry, Rochelle, I'm jumping ahead of you.
No, you don't need to even jump ahead because I just wrote notes down and like facts that I came across. So that is really cool. So tell me about the Achilles because that's not something that I did. Mine was more like what I looked up was everybody referred to it as just ankles. So talk to me about the Achilles.
So, and look, for the large part, the ankle is just the Achilles. Well, it's the Achilles, if you're looking at your two big ones, your Achilles, and then obviously you got your other muscles that do dorsiflexion, so bring your foot up, and lots of stabilizing muscles that cross the joint. So to simplify it to the Achilles, ankle is like not really fair. But if you're picking on one thing that plays an important role, it's the Achilles. Yeah. But this study in particular I found, and this was 9 female athletes and 9 male athletes who were told to run just at a steady pace for themselves, so a submaximal pace of what they would normally run on a treadmill. Yeah. Had significantly increased. It was like peak forces through the Achilles, peak overall cumulative load through there. In fact, it equated to like an extra 45 times your body weight per kilometre of running on a treadmill through the Achilles. Wow. Yeah. So it's like, it's a lot through the Achilles. So again, keeping in mind it was only one study, But I think that if you're someone who has chronic Achilles tendinopathy and you're really prone to niggles, you just want to be aware of that. So it's an interesting one too, because it's a catch-22, because it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you've had a lot of Achilles tendinopathy and you don't have it at the moment, treadmill running could be a really good option, because it will load it more, which will make it stronger. It will increase your collagen synthesis, which is a good thing. But if you've currently got an Achilles niggle that you're trying to settle down, it may not be the best thing, because it might be the thing that could push it over the edge.
So would you then say running on a softer surface outside, like the grass or trails, would be better, or like road and footpath?
It depends, I guess, what kind of phase of or stage of injury someone's in, really, for that. But overall, a softer surface will be a little bit better. Well, no, not. It's a really tricky one. It's a really, really tricky one.
Got ya.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's a bit of a mix, a bit of a combo is the best. It's just training load management. Yeah. So, for example, if you were an athlete with Achilles tendinopathy, because we know that that's more of a hurtful than a harmful condition, meaning the pain doesn't correlate necessarily with how severe it is.
Yeah.
So, and you can push through the pain to an extent, okay, I'm not promoting that, but to a degree. But then you just want to mix it up a little bit. Like, you probably wouldn't then want to go and increase your intensity on the treadmill, right? Because the treadmill's already putting a little bit more load through the Achilles. So you don't want to then top that on top with speed. So maybe stick any speed work to the road, and then keep an easier run on the treadmill if you have to. So if you could play around like that with your loads would be better. Or choose wisely with your footwear. As well could be another thing to minimize that. So have a bigger like heel drop, for example, to then counter the extra load. So you're decreasing length of your Achilles, so it's going to be a little bit less load on there.
And would you do that with like a heel raise?
Yeah, you can definitely, especially if you have insertional Achilles tendinopathy. So that's pain like right on the calcaneus or your heel bone where it inserts into there. In fact, for either of them, but more so for insertional, definitely a heel raise is a really good idea to just take that bit of load off there.
Yeah.
So if you go, I hear what you're saying, Kate, but it's dark outside, I don't feel safe running outside, I need to run on the treadmill, but I've still got my Achilles tendon issue, pop a heel raise in, or pick your shoes wisely, like, you know, wear your less aggressive ones, for example. They can be smart things that you can just consider, you know, when it comes to running on the treadie. But so treadie overall, really good for bones, like, good for coming back from bone stress injuries, but if you're trying to build up your bone strength, run outside.
Yes.
Because you're getting more load.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So again, like, just because it puts these extra loads or different loads, it's not good or bad. It's just you have to pick on
which
yourself.
Is best for you.
Exactly.
And then running outside versus inside. When you're running outdoors, you've got like different terrain. You've got the weather to consider. So like it could be super windy. Well, it is here in Perth because we live in one of the windiest cities. Like, is it raining? Is it extremely hot? Sort of so similar to like when you're in the Seychelles, you use the treadmill to remove that aspect of it. But then in saying that, as a coach, you can maybe say you lose a little bit of conditioning towards the event that you might be training for because you're not in those elements.
100%. Like Nick and I still say to this day, we wish we hadn't done as much running on the treadmill and wish we did it outside, because I feel like I just got too conditioned then to optimal conditions.
So when you went to Abu Dhabi, was it like hot, cold?
It was like 20 degrees.
Okay. So running in the Seychelles would have been extreme heat.
Yeah.
That would have benefited you going there, even though like it was 20 degrees. So yes, it was cooler, but in terms of marathon running, it's not ideal weather.
No.
So
I would have been better off just, I think, running outside, just hacking the heat in Seychelles, and then going to Abu Dhabi and going, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, go me.
Go you.
Yeah. And I think too, just mentally, I found the treadmill, because obviously the belt's moving underneath you. You don't have to use your brain as much to stay on the pace.
No, it does the work for you.
It did it for me, exactly. So I think that did not play in my favour in the end. I think I needed to stay on top of the pace myself by running outside more. So I did most of my long runs with my race pace efforts on the treadie. Yeah. So I could nail nutrition. So my nutrition was fine, but then I felt like when I needed to get on top of the pace,
pick it up, you couldn't.
It was harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I did Worlds, which was in Doha, we did heat training on a treadmill indoors. Back then I wasn't running on a treadmill as much because it was having my son. So when I went to Doha, I still didn't feel conditioned because I was only using short windows of opportunity to run inside in that climate.
Yeah.
And then that was really interesting to compare it to previous races that I had done in Indonesia at the Maybank Marathon, where in Bali it's really hot and humid, but I managed to push myself to new levels. So
it's really interesting. So you probably would have been better off with the heat adaptations. I get why you did that with the treadmill, but you would have been probably better off just running outside.
Maybe going to Bali for a month.
Exactly. Or you could go outside and then join a gym or something, finish your run at the gym where there's a sauna.
Yeah.
And then just sit in there and get your heat adaptations that way.
Yes, because I did none of that for my Bali races.
Yeah.
And whilst the time doesn't reflect my PB in cooler conditions,
of course,
the effort was relative and my position in those races was still achievable in what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
it's really interesting. And you know, on the heat side of it as well, so research shows that overall, and there was a really good systematic review done in, I think it was 2020 or 2019, and it showed that at higher intensities, RPE and heart rate were higher on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Lower intensities on the treadmill compared to overground.
Yeah.
Lower intensities on the treadmill, RPE and heart rate were lower.
Is that because your cadence is sped up?
It was interesting because I was like, oh, okay, like why would that be? I would have thought you'd feel like the belt is underneath you and like maybe it would be easier, but it was lack of airflow was one thing.
Yeah.
So the big takeaway is if you're running on a treadie, have a fan.
Yeah.
Have a fan. It doesn't change your heat adaptations. The fan, though, just helps you keep your intensity. So always have a fan. And then it was because when you were running or walking, doing anything, we use our eyesight and the motions of things going past us, okay, to gauge our speed. When you don't have that, so for example, me running yesterday looking at the brick wall ain't moving. So it's my motion, my vision and my brain are interpreting it as you're running, but you're not moving, which tells you that you're going slower and makes it feel harder.
Yeah.
This is like what proper research says. I'm like, whoa, I never actually thought about that.
And because it's a softer surface, you would have more ground contact time as well on the belt.
You do
which
slightly
would make
increase it.
harder to push over.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So it's really, really interesting. And I was like, oh, and in a 5K, I don't know if you've seen this stat because I have put it out there.
Yeah.
So if you have, just go, okay, I don't know the answer. But I'm going to have a guess because I was shocked at this when I was looking into this topic. So this was like the review on average of, it was like hundreds of runners. So all different levels of runners. They did a 5K time trial outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a 5K time trial
Indoors.
on a treadmill. Yeah. Indoors on a treadmill. And they could turn up the speed, obviously, as they wanted to. Have a guess which one was faster.
Only because we're talking about this topic, I'm going to say outdoors because the relative effort has got to be different.
Yeah, so the outdoors was faster.
Yeah.
Have a guess how much slower the 5K time trial was compared to outdoors.
Percentage, is that what you...
Time.
I'm going to say... at least a minute and a half to 2 minutes difference.
Oh, wow. It was 40 seconds.
Oh, damn.
But I thought that was huge for like 5K.
It is.
I was like, what?
Well, that's like at least 5 seconds per K slower.
Yeah.
Or more.
It's huge.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's like 8 seconds per K slower.
Yeah.
And it was because you didn't have that visual feedback of how fast you were going. Cranking the treadmill up apparently induced a little bit of a fear of falling as well. The heat, like the lack of airflow, and then just not having any competitors or anything around you to give you like feedback of how you were going. Yeah. So just doing it yourself on the treadmill was just like, nope.
Well, running on the treadmill mentally is harder as well.
Totally.
Especially if you don't have anything, like you've just got that wall like you did yesterday. Like I know Matt, he runs on a treadmill at work and he told me he stares at like a screw on the wall for like hours when he's running. And so it gives him that mental toughness. But then like for some people who don't have that grit and determination, it can be just really mind numbing.
Or like mirrors, all gyms have mirrors. So you're running looking at yourself.
But
when you're like, oh, I didn't know I had all these things on my face.
But sometimes you can't like see like your torso and your like abdomen. It's just your legs and your head. So it's kind of like a warped perception of how you're running, and then you change your style of running because you're looking at yourself.
Yeah.
Which then is running on a treadmill changing your technique.
Yeah. Well, is research that shows that you have a slightly flatter foot landing on a treadmill, slightly longer contact time as well. But for all intensive purposes, biomechanics are very much the same. Like real trivial differences.
Okay, so what about like your arm swing? When we're running on a treadmill, do we hold our arms up higher?
That's interesting.
Because years ago when I was at a gym running on the treadmill, the trainer there, he said running on a treadmill, now this is just going like by what he said, I haven't done research to it. He said like when you're running on a treadmill, people hold their arms and their shoulders up higher because they don't want to hit the sides.
Do you know, yesterday I kept hitting my drink bottle. So I was like changing my arm swing because I kept hitting it because it was in the front pocket thing. Yeah. So now ever since like that was, this is going back like 2012, 11. Yeah. Now whenever I run on a treadmill, I think about my arms more than I think about anything else. Interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know how factual that is. When you run on a treadmill, it changes your arms. You hold them higher.
I'm going to look into that. I'm so going to look into that. I don't know.
There you go. Some homework for you. There
you go.
What about like GPS on your watch?
No. I do you know what though? I'd love to follow my watch because it told me yesterday I was sitting on like 355s. Oh. Yeah. I was like, might save that one to Strava.
And what was your kilometers per hour on the treadmill?
532. The reverse of that, 553s. No, it was very
incorrect.
Inaccurate.
So when you're running, this is a coaching question I get all the time. Do I look at my watch and go by what my watch says, or do you go by the treadmill? And I just say run to relative effort.
Yeah.
Your treadmill, yes, has GPS for outside, but when you're on a treadmill and using that setting, it's got an accelerometer in your arm, and it goes off your arm swing, not your leg stride length.
Exactly.
So some people, when they run, really move their arm. So of course, you're going to get a faster result in terms of kilometers per hour. But then some people who are really bouncy, swing their arm slower, the pace is going to be very much off the pace that they've set.
Yep.
So I always say like, set the treadmill to the speed that I've given you, because I always give options. So I'm like pace per kilometer inside, pace like per minute outside.
Yep.
And I say, just if you're on the treadmill, do this and don't look at your watch.
Yep.
I don't even mind like sometimes if they don't even turn it on.
Yeah.
And they manually upload, or they just tell me that they've done the session.
Yep.
Majority of my clients are so scared of me. They're like, I did run on the treadmill today.
I promise I did it.
I'm like, I believe you. It's okay.
I was trying to find, I had a stat here on how accurate like treadmills actually are. And they're obviously it depends, because also a lot of it depends on like the belt, the quality of the treadmill.
Yeah.
Has it been calibrated?
Has it been serviced?
Exactly, like all of that kind of things. And I did find a stat that had like a couple of those numbers in it, but I can't find it.
I feel like I've read the same thing as well.
Yeah, it was, but they're pretty, like it's pretty accurate most of the time. But I did want to touch on, while we're talking about the belts and stuff, have you ever used one of those curved treadmills? They're like non-motorized, the worst.
We use them when I do like S45 at my gym. So S45 is Sister Fitness's version of like F45.
Yeah.
And yeah, we run on those sometimes, but we don't do it for like distance.
Yeah.
It's like run hard for
just effort.
30 seconds and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's weird.
They're the worst. They do not, everyone listening, they do not reflect overground running.
No.
They're way harder, and it's a different training stimulus, completely different biomechanics.
Oh, I was about to say.
Not what you use.
Technique changes so much. I noticed as a runner myself, running on that for just 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's completely different. You're almost right up on the top of your toes. You can't heel stride.
Yeah.
And for somebody who is a heel striker going onto that, the risk of them falling over because they're up so higher than usual.
And the load on the Achilles.
Yeah. Just the injury risk is, a lot greater. I'm not sure why they were designed or what do they even use them for?
It's non-motorized, so like anyone can jump on. You don't have to turn it on, turn it up, anything like that. So you can just jump on and sprint away. So like it's really good for that, but not good for like it's not good for. It's a totally different thing to just a normal treadmill. So
it's dangerous because like you sprint and you have to like stop somehow.
I hate them.
And if you're not good at jumping off and putting your legs on the side, especially like an older person.
Oh man.
It's disastrous.
They give me the heebie-jeebies. I see them I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Do you, do you change any intensity of, if you have an athlete doing a lactate threshold session on the treadie, do you change their target pace at all?
I wouldn't do a lactate session,
session
on the treadmill, no.
Really?
Yeah.
I love doing threshold sessions on the treadmill.
Do you?
I do.
I do prescribe them because some people like have no other option.
Yeah.
But majority of the time I give them more of like a tempo / or a fartlek.
Okay.
Yeah, so just the slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hard sessions on a treadie.
Do you? Like, because it makes you feel fast.
Saturday. Yeah, I love it because I'm like, by the end of like, let's risk my life here.
I'm scared I'm going to fall off the back. You know those videos you see on like Instagram or on YouTube where someone's just like completely, Matt has done this. Sorry, Matt, I need to tell this story because it's really relevant right now. But a couple of years ago, he was like on the treadmill at the gym and I didn't hear from him for a little while afterwards. And he like told me he had an incident. And when he was explaining it to me, he's like, it was like snowflakes were falling from the sky because it like sizzled, like it shaved his skin off. And it just, and so I couldn't think of anything worse. Like, it's like friction burn a million times over.
See, I haven't had that experience
Not
yet.
either.
I did have a friend, this is before I was fully educated. My friend and I and another friend, well, we were at the treadmills at uni and we were like, let's just put it on the highest speed it goes to and see who can stay on there the longest.
Trying to be like Kipchoge, keep up with him.
Exactly. So we did. So we cranked them and my friend fell because we're so competitive. But my brain kicks in where it's like, don't, ego not in the way. So I did not last long. And then she went on. And she ran and then she fell but she held on to the side. And so she was holding on, the belt was just like grazing her knees away. She hopped off and she just had like raw.
So should we start talking about some treadmill myths? Let's bust some myths.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Far away.
Do you think the treadmill is like running is cheating?
Definitely not.
No?
No.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're still working hard. It's relative effort, right?
Exactly.
It's just maybe the load is different versus outside.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, definitely not cheating.
Definitely not cheating. All counts.
Okay, we've talked about the incline of running.
Yes.
On a treadmill. So, is this a myth? Flat treadmill is equal to outdoor running?
Okay, so this one you can kind of break down a little bit, I guess. So there is some research to support that because you don't have the wind resistance when you're running on a treadmill, then setting your incline of your treadmill to 1% more closely replicates running outside, especially because you've got a few little like path undulations and stuff as well. So there is a study that's kind of stood the test of time that even like I used in my research study where it was like, yes, we'll set it to 1% to replicate the road, but you don't need to do that for every run.
Yeah.
Like I do most of my runs on flat 0% because I'm like, well, it's a different load to outside. It's like with the shoe rotations, like we always talk about having different shoes to slightly distribute the loads. It's like do the same with your treadmill versus your running on the road, because if you set it to 1%, we'll just go run on the road. Like you may as well enjoy a bit of like a difference.
Yeah.
And it will also alleviate your Achilles a little bit too. So no, you don't have to set 1% all the time.
Yeah.
Do you when you run on the treadmill?
I just leave it on 0.
Yeah.
And most of the time when people ask me that question that I coach, say, oh, just leave it on 0. Like I do. Like I don't think it's going to make much of a change because it's all about effort.
Yeah.
And the sessions or the easy runs that they're doing don't really require it to be that much of a difference.
I think if they're like doing a really hard lactate session or a hard light velocity at VO2 max or something, then you could probably put it at 1 to maybe more replicate and get those demands. But if you're just going for an easy run,
Nah, it doesn't need. And running at 0% isn't like running downhill.
No, that is a myth too. I hear people say, 0% downhill. I'm like, no, 0 is 0. It's flat.
Like, if you're running downhill, the treadmill would go up in the opposite direction and you'd be going downhill.
Exactly. There is a treadmill that does that. Did you know that?
No, what brand is it?
Nordic.
Oh.
It's because I follow someone on Insta and she's obviously sponsored by Nordic.
Yeah.
And so I saw her. Her treadmill has a 24% incline.
Okay, so the standard that they go to is like maybe 16 or 18, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 24%. I'm like, what could you imagine? Your treadmill going up like this?
You're like holding on to your life.
And it has a 6% decline.
So it raises at the back.
Yeah.
Some treadmills I know mimic running outside and it changes like side to side. Like say you're running on a footpath and I don't know, don't quote me, like I don't know what the brand is but you can watch a video running and it moves too. And you can run anywhere in the world. Like it has different videos of different parts of the world.
We actually did that for my study. Like we put up like some scenery when we had the ladies doing like their run testing of like running through mountains and stuff. Yeah. And then I jumped on and tried it and like I get so motion sick. I was like, this ain't good. This is not good because I know I'm not in the mountains. Clearly I'm in a lab. Like I ain't fooled here, guys.
This is not enjoyable.
This is not it.
Oh my goodness. That's kind of cool though. At least like
it was something.
Make you think slightly because treadmill running can be quite monotonous.
Yes.
Then another one was, is the distance always correct? On the treadmill, it should be if it's calibrated right, but I wouldn't run to your watch.
Exactly. I always say to people, just follow the treadmill, like, and what it is.
Yeah.
And it does need to be calibrated, and that does depend on the quality of the gym.
Yes.
At a gym, if they get it calibrated frequently.
Or service.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And there are some brands that I think are really, really good that require less servicing and their belts are better and stuff as well because, so you kind of have to calibrate your treadmill. Did I haven't told you about when I did a VO2 max test?
No, you haven't told me about this.
So I did talking of calibrating your treadmill, I did a VO2 max test, like this would have been a couple of years ago. So I keep in mind, it wasn't long after I'd had the boys. I was feeling pretty fit by my standards. Yeah. This was done by my coach, who is still my coach now. He should be thanking his lucky stars. He's my coach after this. Because I was doing my test, I did really well. Like my velocity at VO2 max, I was super proud of. My number I was real happy with. And I was like, I can't believe I spent 2 minutes on whatever the last speed was. And I was real happy. And he's like, and he was a bit perplexed. And comes back over with the trundle wheel, calibrating the treadmill to see if it was accurate because he thought it wasn't legit. Because he was like, it's way too fast for your abilities.
No.
I was like,
I'd fire him for sure.
I was so annoyed about it. Anyway, it turns out it was calibrated and I was actually that fast.
Yeah, nah.
Lucky he didn't get
I'd stop paying him money.
Yeah. I was pretty salty about it.
That's hilarious. Should we leave it at that?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone's listening to this during their treadmill run.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully we're just like your friends in your ears.
Yes, exactly. That's the ride.
If anybody has any questions on what brand of treadmill Kate and I use, leave a comment and we can always pop in the show notes what we use. Because I think I've had a few questions in the past, like on Instagram, asking me when people have seen my treadmill, like, what is it? So that would be something that we can add to.
Yeah, and I've used obviously quite a few different ones for research as well, and tend to know like what feels good and what doesn't, and the different settings. One thing I will say is like it's so easy to get caught up in all the different functions of things that you actually may not ever use. Yeah,
think about what you want in a treadmill and what you're going to get out of it when purchasing a treadmill.
Yes.
Because you may not need to spend $6,000-$7,000. You could save yourself a lot of money.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, treadmill running is not cheat running. It is the same. Like, it is okay if you're doing a threshold session, sure, maybe turn it up a smidge. If you've got a couple of niggles, can be really good for you. So, like, if you were doing bulk of your Ks on the treadie, good on you. Great.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
still gonna be awesome on race day. Have no fear.
No, it's not going to change your fitness at all whatsoever.
No.
But please make sure you tune in wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it's on Spotify or the Apple Store or any other of the apps. If you like to watch us on YouTube, please do, and make sure you press the little bell to subscribe. And yeah, thanks for today, Kate.
Oh, thank you, Rochelle.
Let's keep the Runversation going.